You've got this great alliteration in your ethos. We've talked a little bit about product, purpose, profit. We'll come back to that. You talked about content, community, and commerce.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you think about that and how you're applying that at Parks US?
Probably the one that's missing is consumer. I think that's one of the things that I've learned over my career is to actually respect the consumer and think about what role you play in their lives. There are so many different elements of competition. I think when you're in a brand, you tend to just think, let's just say I'm Parks Project and I got Code Epoxy or Patagonia and that's my competitor. The reality is the competitor is day-to-day life. It's time, it's your children, it's television, it's media, it's everything. Anything that distracts you from focusing on the quote unquote funnel. So understanding where you fit into that consumer's life, how you potentially go into the intersection of values and I would say interests is something that you have to think about. Other brands may kind of take an approach that's very top down. The world is very overwhelming. There's this existential threat. You need to help us because we are the vehicle to affect change versus us where we're very much a grassroots approach. We kind of go bottoms up and say, hey, there is a threat. There are challenges. We want to make you aware of those, but simply taking one step outside, taking one potential class, one event that you can volunteer at, just simply doing something is a huge impact. And our kind of mantra is leave it better than you found it. And this idea of better, we want people to do something better. We don't need them to do the best, right? And I think if everyone is doing their part to leave it better, it's going to have an exponential impact. And the content strategy has really been an important one for us. I think there are three elements. One, an appreciation of beautiful places. So that comes from beautiful imagery, really telling the stories behind the parks. The second one is really highlighting the problems that exist and making people aware of the advocacy portion. A lot of that is done in conjunction with our nonprofit partners. And then the third side of it is really celebrating the product that is inspired by these places. And I think when you start to talk about, again, this idea of products, the existential problem, and then really just starting to find elements that connect, it becomes very powerful for us.